Hello, everyone. Welcome again to our series of interviews with speakers and workshop trainers from our OpenConf 2023. I'm Georgios Nikolaropoulos, Senior Vice President of Engineering at GWI and member of the Technical Committee of OpenConf. Today, I have the honor to have with us the three instructors of our Quarkus Workshop. It's Dimitris Andriadis, Engineering Director at Redhat and Quarkus team, Ioannis Canellos, Senior Principal Software Engineer at Redhat, and Georgios Andrianakis, Principal Software Engineer at Redhat. Welcome. Thank you for having that time to do the interview. Let you tell us a few things about your role and yourselves at Redhat. Who wants to go first? Dimitris?
Seniority first.
The older, Jesus. All right. So I'm Dimitris, and I've worked in Redhat for 20 years. I was part of the JBoss acquisition. We made the JBoss application server and the Wildfly project for a long time. I was there like 15 years on that. And then I moved on to Quarkus, to the Quarkus team, to set up the team and help it grow. And I oversee a couple other projects. So I'm based in Switzerland. So that's it.
Great. Awesome. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I'm Ioannis. I joined Redhat in 2011. I also joined through an acquisition. In my case, it was the FuSource acquisition. FuSource at the time was an organization that was focusing on open source integration. Gradually, I moved on from integration to other areas like working with cloud and Kubernetes and those kind of things. And as of 2019, I started putting more and more time in Quarkus, where I work in the area around Quarkus and cloud Kubernetes, developer experience, and those kind of things.
Mm-hmm. Great. And George?
Yeah, hi. So my name is George Andrianakis. I've been with Redhat since 2018, so about 5.5 years now. I initially joined Redhat to help Redhat's efforts around Spring and OpenShift, but gradually, and I would say organically, my role shifted towards Quarkus because that's where a lot of the efforts of folks in Dimitris' orbit were being put. So yeah, I've been working on the project for more than 4 years now, like all sorts of areas. And as like Ioannis, we're both based in Athens.
Awesome. Great. 2 people in Athens, 3 actually with me, 1 in Switzerland. Great. So I think everyone would be interested to know a bit more of the ways of working of Redhat, because like it's a huge firm with many supporters. It's one of the pillars of the open source community and the tools in the Java world and the JVM world maybe out there. So I was always interested to learn, and I think also our viewers about do you follow Scrum or you're doing agile ceremonies? What about team topologies? What the mix of a team? Do you have like product design and engineering sitting in one team? So that's my question.
I can take that. First of all, Red Hat is many different teams, and those teams normally combine an upstream part, which is very close to the community. So whatever every community uses, the team uses, and then normally there is a backend part, which is like the product side of the community project. In the product side, again, every team more or less has the freedom to do what they want. So there are teams that are doing Scrum, there are teams that are doing Kanban, there are teams that are doing Scrumban, there are teams that are doing nothing. So it's a mixed bag of a bit of everything.
Okay, and the main domain separation is happening based on the tools, if I understood correctly, Dimitris. Based on the community?
It's based on the needs of the project.
Okay.
There are projects that move slower, projects that move faster, projects where maybe Red Hat, let's say, controls a big part of the code or not.
Mm-hmm.
So there are many factors that affect this decision. Yeah, and the preferences of the team as well.
Cool. Moving on, I think something else that personally troubles me a lot, and I think it's also a focus of the OpenConf and of many people around our industry, is like the diversity within our industry, like women in tech, ethnicity diversity, people from different backgrounds. How can we give people that haven't had technical or computer science studies the opportunity to join us? How do you deal with that diversity and inclusion initiative within Red Hat? What's your take, and what are the results?
I think one of the folks should try that, and then I can add up. Like, from your point of view, how do you see this, George and Ioannis?
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
I
so-
saw
Well,
George nodding.
So,
Go,
Yeah, go
George.
ahead. Yeah.
well, I was going to say that being an organization that focuses on open source makes you be more open yourself. So openness is a key ingredient of the Red Hat culture. And therefore, I would say that we are pretty open to both the LGBTQ movement, to ethnicities. We are open to neurodiversity and all those kind of things. And I think that we even have a large part on inclusion dedicated to the culture statement that we have in the Red Hat side. But I think that what I mentioned initially, that we are open in our culture is open, makes a whole difference.
Mhm. Yeah, so I just wanted to add, like for the Quarkus team, we have, for example, a higher percentage of women on the team than most other teams do, right? So, which is great, and for a project that is so, let's say, visible, having women in very prominent positions is a great showcase of like what engineering skills, regardless of people's backgrounds, can achieve, right? So that's great. Also, I should say that there are initiatives from various folks in the company, but also like more standardized things, trying to diversify the pool of applicants to the company from the ground up, right? Because unless you have a very large pool of people like getting interested in technology from like high school level or college level, right? The more people you have, so like the more stuff we do, like at helping out schools or universities, trying to get people interested in what we do, the more people like that then bubble up, let's say, to higher levels, right?
Yeah,
100% agree. Dimitris?
yeah. I mean, there's the natural diversity that comes from open source projects because anyone can participate. So there you see the typical pattern where you have people from different nationalities, backgrounds, all of that. And for us, it's a big part of our diversity. We have people participating on Quarkus from wherever, 20 different countries or more. And then there are the, let's say, the company initiatives for, I probably say the other parts of the business that are not so much exposed to the open source way. I don't know, let's say, the logistics or human resources, or. So we have lots of programs in Red Hat to enhance diversity and give a boost to teams that are more underrepresented, like females, for example, or people from other backgrounds. There's a lot of that in Red Hat.
Great.
Yeah.
No, great. That makes a lot of sense. I think open source is as Ioannis said, the key catalyst here, the factor. And then the way I see it, especially in smaller countries where you cannot really find a lot of people. In terms of critical mass, like Greece, you have to go high school or even universities. Probably it's too late. You
But
need
this
to
is
spark
really
that interest.
it's really key. Unless you increase like the input to this
Exactly.
process,
Exactly.
no matter how much diverse you're gonna be. Like in my school, when I studied, we had 4 girls and 80 boys. So then it's really hard
Yeah.
to change
It's
that after.
Yeah, I agree. I remember, in my university year, it was like 5 women, 150 men. Great.
Well, in our case, it wasn't that bad. I think that we had a pretty decent ratio. Of course, not something that would be close to 50-50, but it was way better than what you described.
Nice. That's a positive message. And especially with Greece also, being a very open country to immigrants, and we have that openness that Ioannis talked about, open source. I think there are various initiatives that all the firms should look into participating and encourage the diversity. And talking about Greece now, that it's a great segue to the next question that I have, which is, George and John, you work from Greece for a multinational company, which, like Dimitris said, you can find people collaborating from all over the world. How does it feel? What are some of the pros and cons to live in Greece but work for a multinational company?
George, you wanna go first?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I should say that like being able to be in like let's say a small market, which Greece is a small market compared to even like countries in Western Europe. I'm not even going to compare to like United States.
Correct. Yeah.
Greece is a small market, but being able to physically reside in a small market, but being able to work with like in some of the most prominent companies in the world in our industry is amazing, right? And the folks, us folks in tech who are able to do this, it's real blessing, right? There aren't many industries where you can do that. Like someone who, let's say, wants to work on, I don't know, jet propulsion can't do this, right? They would have to move to the United States or work for Lockheed Martin or whatever, or Boeing. So this is a huge opportunity. And I want people to really understand that they can get to this level by like doing well at work and progressing on their own, right? And providing value for the jobs they already have. This doesn't require like a supernatural step, right? Or a lot of family resources or anything like that, right? So all of us like went to free Greek universities, right? Got our free education, and then now we're working for this amazing company. And there are also other companies of similar stature that do hire in like for similar cases, like us, right? So this is amazing. I would not. I can't say like I can't compare it to anything else I had done previously here in Greece, right? So obviously there's some cons, right? But they pale in comparison to anything else.
Ioannis,
All
So
right.
yeah,
I
that's
would
my super optimistic take. I wonder if other folks have.
I like that. I like that, to be honest.
I,
John?
I would I would say that one of the major pros of working in an organization like Red Hat is that you get the chance to work with incredible people, with incredible minds. You get the chance to meet even people that are your heroes, right? People that you used to admire. And for instance, Dimitris, being one of the pioneers in open source in Greece, was known to pretty much most of people working with Java in Greece when I started my career. And nowadays, I have the chance to work with someone like Dimitris. And there are a lot of other such cases. Red Hat has a huge talent pool, and you work and learn from the best minds in the industry. Other pros, of course, are things like working from home, working with a lot of different people from all over the world, the opportunity to travel and meet and get familiar with different cultures and all those kind of things.
All right. Okay, great. So I guess you might have seen it coming, Dimitris. You took the other way. So you live in Switzerland. You used to be in Greece. Um, what's that story like? How does it feel? At least you work also with Greeks, and you I guess you have connections with, like, have you ever considered coming back, or what's the pros and cons of the opposite side of actually
Yeah.
doing the step to
So
moving out?
I've done both. I've done both. So I started working like the folks here in 2004 in Athens remotely for a startup at the time where this was like science fictions. It was like people couldn't believe it. When I said, "Hi, I'm gonna work from home," and they thought, "Oh, it's a scam." But like they will take
I
your
got
money.
that too.
People just couldn't believe it, right? But it worked out really, really well, and I think it showed back then the people that it's possible.
Mm.
And most important, it's what both our Ioannis and George said, that you work with people that you admire, and then they become your colleagues, right? It's really amazing. So you can combine both aspects, like the standard of living in Greece, which for the most part is great, and then doing interesting things and get a decent salary out of this. Um, for me and my family, the decision to move at some point was more like looking for a new challenge. We were at the
Okay.
point in our lives where I think we had everything. We had good jobs. We had started a family. Um, Life was easy, and then at some point we thought, you know, is that it? Like we wanted something more, something different. So we were at the right point where the kids were small. They were just starting school, which normally
Mm.
it's a good time to make changes. And what happened was I always reported to the Swiss office. So I was coming to Switzerland like maybe twice a year, and I knew the people, I knew the place, and I just liked the place. And I
Mm.
thought, maybe let's try that. And the plan was initially, let's move there for a couple of years and see how it is. And we did that. Of course, it was hard at the beginning. We moved to a place that spoke French, like as a primary language. We had no idea about French. It was like hard for the kids initially, but it played out well. And Switzerland is a very special country. Lots of rules, complex, multi-language, multicultural, blah blah blah. But it's also very nice, and now we like it. And to be honest, if anyone is looking at like Europe is a small place. You
Mm.
can be anywhere. For us, it's 8 hours door to door to come back to my apartment in Athens. Like two trains, wait, plane, taxi. It's like if you had like taken a decision to move to US, Australia, New Zealand, then it's a big thing. It's probably an irreversible like decision. But Europe is like it's a small place, so it's easy to move around and have a
Yeah.
bit of everything. And I love Greece. I will come back on every opportunity, and maybe at some point, if the conditions are right and my girls are independent, which are approaching that point, we could reconsider.
I like it. Cool. No, push through the talents, open new boundaries, and succeed at the end. And I like what you said about Europe being really a small place, which I think resonate with what your was started at the beginning. Cool. I'd like us to close this interview with a teaser for our viewers. What should we expect to see at the workshop, Quarkus Workshop that you have for us in the OpenConf?
Maybe, I don't know, who wants to go first?
I would like to say the following. I've been watching closely and working on Quarkus since 2019. I've been presenting and talking about Quarkus since then. Like George. However, I still get the what the hell effect each time I'm working with it. So sometimes it's not enough to just see what Quarkus looks like. You have to experience that. So the best way to experience something like that is to join the workshop.
Awesome. Euros, do you want to beat that?
No, I can't beat that. I'll just say, as to not intimidate folks, that this workshop has like a lot of modules, but it's like completely self-paced. Like you can like do like very little, or if you're very, very into it, you can do a ton of stuff, and we'll still have more to give you for home if you want. So don't be intimidated.
Yeah.
Great.
And just to close it, Quarkus is a better way to do Java. Just like described in a single line. And it's a better way, and it has a unique developer experience that if you haven't tried it, I suggest just come over to this workshop, bring your laptop, and you get to feel we call this developer joy. You get developer joy by developing with Quarkus, despite all the other benefits, super fast, super quick, small, whatever, everything. So yeah, so if you've never used Quarkus, or if you've used Quarkus and you want to talk to those experts here that know Quarkus really, really, really well, I think it's a unique opportunity, to just come and meet and have fun.
Great. Now I'm intrigued. I'll join that workshop. Super. So thanks a lot, the three of you. It was very interesting discussion. It was really great having you with us today. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in OpenConf and uncover that magic of Quarkus. Thanks everyone. Dimitris, George, John. It was a pleasure.
For having us.
Thank you. Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you guys.
Great. And for all our viewers out there, I really hope you joined the talk today. And don't forget, you can grab your tickets for OpenConf 2023, which is taking place on the 10th and 11th of November in Athens. For more information, please do have a look on our website at www.open-conf.gr. Have a great day, everyone. See you there.